Hello friends, welcome to the shed. It's Monday. How are you today? Hope your weekend was amazing. My weekend was fabulous. Put up the Yule tree, hung up some stockings, did some normal stuff. Today, we're talking about tips on reducing sugar. I believe that Richard Miles suggested this topic. If he didn't, then he is extremely enthusiastic about the topic because he called and left multiple voicemails and has even sent some stuff along to show you. So let me just play his voicemail and then we'll carry the show from there because he talks for a little extra time.
Hey Chevee, this is Richard Miles. Here are some of my tips for reducing my sugar intake. So the first step is just not buy sugar.
Don't eat sugar.
This is a big obstacle for a lot of people. For me, it was a huge thing is to just not buy it. If it's not in your house, you can't eat it. I mean, you can eat it out of your house at restaurants and whatnot. But where I consumed a lot of sugar was
if it's not in your house,
so if
you
don't
can't eat it.
Buy it. You're not eating it at home.
Yes.
And
I'm not making fun of you, Richard. I'm sorry.
It's kind of difficult at first for me to do that, but now I skip those aisles altogether while at the grocery store.
I think
and I really kind of have to do it because
that's a really strong thing to do.
Off of junk food, like that used to be me.
Potato chips for me.
So I've just made a conscious effort to just say no and just skip those altogether. But here are some other ways to reduce some. Here's one way to reduce some kind of hidden sugar, and that is
hidden sugar. Keep that in mind.
Drink juice. Drink a lot of juice, whether it's orange juice or a mixed blend of juices or whatever it is. Those often have high sugar content, and for me, I was drinking multiple glasses of juice per day. And I get like the real juice. It's 100% juice.
Yeah.
100% fruit.
I think we've all fallen into this trap.
And if you're drinking 3, 4, or 5 of those glasses a day, and I'm talking like, normal, decent-sized glasses, that's a lot of extra sugar. So what I started doing is cutting that sugar, what I started doing is cutting those glasses.
This is a great tip.
With water. And so right now, I fill up my cup instead of all the way to the top. I fill it up only a quarter of the way with juice, and then I fill the rest of it up with water. And to me, now, that tastes normal. And when I accidentally, this only happens rarely, but when I accidentally take a sip of normal juice, it almost knocks me over because it's so sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't start out.
That's a great tip.
A quarter juice.
I'm going to turn this down. He goes on for a little bit about this. That's an amazing tip. The problem is avoiding added sugar in the United States is a really difficult thing to do. Americans are addicted to sugar. Everything has added sugar. Literally everything. Unless you're getting whole ingredients, I'm talking it from salad dressings to juices, like he just said, to frickin' spaghetti sauce. Everything has added sugar. And for some reason, we're addicted to it. The guys in Poland, Ignacy makes fun of us. He doesn't make fun of us, but he's like, you guys eat so much sugar. He came here for a trip and got juice because that's what he drinks. And he was like, this tastes like somebody took a glass of juice and then put a cup of sugar in it. And I'm like, well, that's what they did. Welcome to America. We have to have everything with sugar. Richard sent along an email. I'll show you the picture here. Notice this is like the Simply Nutritious Amazing Juice of Nutrition with apples and carrots and peaches and lemon juice all blended together with awesome healthy stuff like green tea. There are 24 grams of sugar in this juice. Do you know how much sugar is in a packet or a teaspoon of sugar? 4 grams. So 4 grams means there's 6 teaspoons of sugar in this little bottle of juice. That's outrageous. And that is not the amount of juice that's in fruit naturally. So let's pick up Richard's second call, because I could go on about this for a while.
Hey, Chevee, Richard Miles again. And so the last tip I want to leave you with is to try to replace sugar.
Yes. That's where I was headed. I was going there.
Sugar, that is, with something else that is sweet. So
it's not sugar!
For me, one of the ways I do this is in my oatmeal. And I used to just cram
okay,
my
oatmeal sucks.
With
just
some
so you
type
know.
of sugar, whether it was actual...
It's good for you, though.
Cane sugar, or if it was honey, or maple syrup, or something like that, but it was loaded.
Fun fact, maple syrup, unless you buy, is probably not maple syrup.
Now what I've started doing is I take a whole banana, a nice ripe one, and I just mash it up in my oatmeal.
The browner, the sweeter.
You really can't tell that I have a banana in my oatmeal. And I can't really taste that there's a banana in my oatmeal. I mean, maybe a little bit, but that added sweetness of a banana just really makes the oatmeal, to me, a lot more edible.
So, sugar replacement is a really good idea.
Not enough for you or when you're starting out.
Apples are one of my secrets.
Do it for me, at least.
Here we go. He's still talking. Apples, for me, are a huge sugar replacement. I am not a sweets person. I don't crave sweets like some people seem to do. It's not, like, if you offer me a piece of cake with a ton of icing on it, I'm probably just going to be like, no thanks. Might eat the cakey part, or, sugar's never really excited me. I'm a savory person and salty. I like a lot of salt. So for me, instead of eating sugared oatmeal in the morning, I would rather have salted grits. So grits have that little bit of corn sweetness to them, but they're not, I don't feel the need to add sugar.
For me in the morning. So I bought bags of dried strawberries, and you can just throw them in there, and the oatmeal reconstitutes them. They don't stay dry and crunchy, but it reconstitutes them. And so
this is a good tip for cereal.
Bananas are
dried strawberries, dried bananas, dried apples.
Like a very sweetened oatmeal where I wasn't putting the refined sugars or something like maple syrup with 1,000 grams of sugar in a serving or whatever. So anyway, those are my sugar reducing tips.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Fun making the show. Really enjoyed it. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll give you a. I can't give you one of these because your message. Thank you so much for the thoughts, Richard. This is definitely a problem that we have in America with sugar. I've literally gone to the store and bought bags of salad, and found that they have added sugar. Why the frick do you put... Anyway. Some other thoughts. Brad Richards says, that's a sweet topic. I've lost 25 pounds by cutting out sweets and soda since August. 25 pounds by cutting sweets and soda. That's pretty unbelievable. I believe it, but that's it's that easy. Just stop eating it. Like Richard said, just don't put it in your house. Keep it away from you. I mean, if you can't go to the cupboard and pull it out and eat it, then you won't eat it, right? Right? Adam Brocker says, some examples for me is to use blueberries in my oatmeal, no sugar, and avoid sugar in my coffee. Just creamer. Yeah. That's why does everybody mention oatmeal? Oatmeal is good for you. Oatmeal is, one thing that I would suggest, honestly, is whole grains. Having enough healthy body fat and having enough good carbohydrates to keep your body's energy level up means that your body won't crave sugar because you won't need that instant energy rush. Essentially, it's a balance between long-term energy, which is what carbohydrates provide, and short-term energy, which is what sugar provides, and your body's going to use whichever reserve it can get. And if you are hungry for energy, your body's going to crave sugar. Just recognize that. Recognize hey, my body wants sugar, my blood sugar is low, and do something proactive to combat it other than eating sugar. Exercise is great. Drinking water. Water is a huge factor in so many facets of our bodies, we're not even really sure what all it affects. Just being slightly dehydrated can cause you to crave sugar. Just being moderately dehydrated can cause you all kinds of health problems. So drink water. If you absolutely have to have flavoring, do what Richard does and put just a little bit of juice in it. But again, not 24 grams of sugar. I mean, if you drink, the average person needs 25 to 37 grams of sugar a day. You drink one of those juices and you've had all of your sugar for the day. You go to lunch and you get some ketchup on your fries. Guess what that ketchup is? Like 90% sugar and some tomatoes. Just think about it. The amount of extra calories we take in is it's outrageous when you stop and think about it. But for me, apples, bananas, oranges, not a lot. I'm not going to sit down and pound a bag of oranges because I'm craving sugar. But if I find myself saying, man, I really need some sugar, I need that quick energy, an apple or a banana usually satiates that. And then I just go back to eating salty stuff because I love the salty stuff. Yeah. So that's what we've got today. I really appreciate, Richard, everything you've done for the show in the past couple weeks. It's been really huge. Everybody who responded on Friday, thank you so much. I can't even begin to explain to you how great it made me feel for you all to have my back, essentially. And I want to keep working on this format. This is episode 181. It's the beginning of the fourth 60 episodes. So at the end of this 60, that's a year we've done this. And I'm not going to stop. I mean, I'm not going to become stale and let the show die because I'm not open to criticism that will help us improve. So we're going to improve the show. We're working on it. The calendar thing, I really enjoy the phone calls. I really enjoy the emails and the tweets and all the stuff that I show you. So I'm going to keep doing it. If you aren't following me on Twitter or Facebook, but I really don't use Facebook. So if you friend request me on Facebook, I probably won't respond, and I'm sorry. Twitter is the easiest way. Every day, usually before lunchtime, I will try to post that day's topic, and you can submit your responses. Someday we might have the community tab here on YouTube, or we can do it here. But for right now, go to Twitter, search for me at Chevee Dodd, and follow me so you can get in the conversation. Every day before I record the show, I will put your tweets on the show and we'll talk about it, just like we've been doing for the last 2 weeks. I really, really, really enjoy this format. I just need to figure out a way to make it a little bit more organic and a little less programmed, and I think this is less genuine than anyway. So we'll save that conversation for Friday. I'm sorry to drag on. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the encouragement. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from americaslibrary.gov. Who named Pennsylvania? Although Swedes and Dutch were the first European settlers, William Penn, a Quaker, named Pennsylvania in honor of his father by combining the name of Penn and the Latin term Sylvania, which translates as woodlands, to come up with Penn's Woodlands.